Hello, welcome to Family. We've got your back. This week, it's going to be less frustrating for a lot of you because it's not about money. Yay!
Nope, no money. Whatever.
Okay, so today Trent woke up and said, let's play Frisbee golf. And I said, we don't have golf discs. And he's like, and? Well, our neighbor has a company that actually makes Frisbee golf discs, and they have a store nearby. So we went there, and guess what? They had used ones. Yes.
For $2.
No, well, some were $2,
Some
not
were
the
$2.
ones they were
Yeah.
like chewed by a dog. But the ones we bought were like $3, $4, $5, and we're like,
Yeah.
right on. So everybody but our son,
Our oldest son.
because he works construction and was just wiped all day, or from working all day. And so we went and played, and our son that actually plays Frisbee for a team was like, you guys don't really need the discs because you're terrible no matter which
We're
one you
awful.
use. So how about you just let me use this one and not have to share?
And we're like,
And
sharing
I'm like, no,
is caring.
learn to share. Learn to share. Pass it on and let somebody else use it, right? And finally we were just like, oh, whatever. This is taking too long. And so I used a putter for like 6 holes.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I was terrible and lost. Shocking.
Yeah. Well, we weren't keeping score, but
Well, he was.
we were all awful.
I wasn't
Even
keeping score.
he wasn't good.
He was
weren't
not
telling him.
terrible.
He wasn't terrible.
Like was close to par every time. I doubled par at least because I'm using a putter. So anyway, the reason I'm telling this story is if you want the better results, you got to use the right tools, right? And so if you want a strong family, you've got to implement the proper tools. And one of those tools is having dinner as a family together as often as you possibly can.
Yeah. Oh, we've made that a pretty significant priority in our family.
We
It's
have.
like we do that pretty well. It's like we get sometimes there's evenings where someone has practices or whatever, different things that are going on. I had parent teacher conference this last week. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was tricky to have that happen, but most of the time, well, we're expecting it.
Right.
We expect that kind of thing.
Yep. I get home from work, dinner's ready because our daughter made it, and we all sit down and we eat, and then we clean up together. And one of the words that I wanted to define this week was counsel, because when you have dinner together as a family, you are able to counsel together. And it so it says an assembly or meeting for consultation, advice, or discussion. Perfect.
Primarily for discussion. It's like
Yeah.
if we're going to talk about something that's confrontational, or what was it, or
Advice and discussion. What was?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? Turn your phone back
it.
on. Sorry, I turned his phone off.
advice.
Consultation, advice, or discussion.
I mean, advice is maybe a different time.
Yeah, sometimes, unless they actually ask, right?
Yeah.
So, like, criticism is not in that definition, right?
No.
Shaming.
We want
For bad
we
behavior.
want all good
not in
vibes
that.
at the dinner table.
Yes. So, like, how was your day? Is not a really great question to ask. More like, what was your favorite part of the day? Or what do you remember most about your day? Or did something happen that you want to tell us? Or
Yeah. Or maybe we knew something about the day already for them because we talked about the plans the previous night, and we can ask specific questions.
right?
And it makes them, that kind of involvement makes everybody feel good.
Yeah. So I guess the key is if you're going to have a facilitated discussion or a council at your dinner table, don't ask questions that can be answered with okay or fine or good
Yeah.
whatever, right? You
And
want-
and teenagers will still try to do that, right? So
What was your favorite part of the day?
Just get in the
Lunch?
habit of saying, what about that thing did you think was good, right? There's
Or,
follow-up questions. That
what
you
did
can
you
use.
have for lunch if it was your favorite? Who did you sit with?
Right.
What did you talk about? Okay, so yeah.
And it's not badgering.
No,
No.
it's not. It's just
Don't-
getting to know your kids.
Yeah, it's just having a time
Or
to
spouse or whoever you're eating dinner with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all the experts say eat together as often as you can with the members of your household. And I looked up specific benefits. You have typically better eating habits because people aren't just grabbing cereal or making themselves a sandwich or eating out of the chili can at the sink so they don't have to do dishes and don't spill anywhere and so they don't have to sweep, right? But they typically eat healthier meals because they are planned out, right? And you're not gonna, dinner's ready in a half an hour. I'm not gonna go eat a donut, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm starving. Because you know when dinner's going to happen, right? So typically you eat healthier foods and as often will allow it on a schedule, right?
And truly, when I saw that better eating habits, I was actually thinking better eating manners. It's like,
Oh, that's a good one too.
It is.
That falls into a different learning social skills.
oh, there it is.
So children
Learning
can learn
social
how
skills.
to interact with others, take turns, and practice good manners.
Yeah.
So playing frisbee, you learn to take turns if you eat dinner together because I want the water. I want a drink. You have to pass me the water. Well, it's somebody else's turn. You can have it as soon as they fill their glass.
Yeah.
They learn table manners. Please pass.
Yeah. Trent, do you have to have everything?
When Trent was growing up, whatever they were eating, he wanted all the toppings.
Who wouldn't? Seriously, fam? What was up with that? Of course I want tomatoes on my hamburger. Of course I want pickles on my hamburger. Yes.
And lettuce, and onions,
Yeah,
and cheese.
All of those things. We didn't have...
The mayo. Or Miracle
we had
Whip.
Miracle Whip.
Yeah, I don't like Miracle Whip.
Anyway, but yeah.
So no, I don't want all the things.
So people were having to sacrifice their eating to pass it. And that's a good thing too.
Yes, patience.
Patience.
So it's the joke now every time. Trent, you have to have everything
You have to-
because it's
yeah.
and it's not. You get it and then you put it on your plate. It's you pass all these things at the same time. You're like, can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this? Trent, stop it! Right? It's really funny.
It's funny.
It's funny.
And it was funny back then too. It's like they weren't really hating on me.
No, it's
funny.
So our family dinner, we continue the family joke that started when he was a child.
Indeed.
And so that's another thing is traditions, and you pass on family stories, right, during dinner. We, for a while, had our family history minute, where everybody took a turn once a week or whatever, and they looked up a family history story, and they told about the family member. So we use dinner time as that.
Yeah.
Or if we have something to teach our kids, we use dinner time because they're forced to sit there to eat dinner. And so we talk about positive things we want them to learn.
I
Right?
still remember my mom reading stories at the dinner table because she didn't need to eat. No, it's like she prepares the food, and then when it's dinner time, she's staying off of the eating for probably 10-ish minutes so that we could read. So we read Greek stories, we read other stories, and it's like whatever, right?
Awesome,
it was a priority, and so we enjoyed that.
If you can name this quote, my mom hasn't had a hot meal for herself in 15 years.
Completely.
You get bonus points. Okay, so passing on traditions, and create lasting memories with those traditions that you create. Another one was improved mental health and confidence, because eating with other people is a social activity. And if you are eating alone, it's depressing, right? It's
would
like,
think
oh, I
so.
have no one to be with.
Right.
And so I am eating alone. It's often like not a purposeful thought. It's more subconscious. Like, you know, when you eat lunch at school with your friends or whatever, eating alone is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right? It means it meant that nobody wanted to be with you, right?
Or, well, at least no one was willing to step outside of their comfort zone to be with you.
Yeah, and that
More
meant
like
you have
that.
no friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's not true in a family. It's just you eat when you can because you're all so busy. But we're saying do your best to schedule time because eating alone, well, let's just say eating with other people can boost your mood, reduce stress and anxiety. It positively affects the self-esteem because you know you're not alone, that you belong somewhere, right? And it builds the stronger relationships because you're getting to know each other better and you're spending time with each other and you're talking and you're experiencing things together. And, you know, don't waste the moment, right?
Right. It doesn't have to be like a whole hour sit down.
No.
People eat quickly.
Yeah, they do. It's just a few minutes of time
Just a
spent
few
together
minutes.
doing the same thing, right?
Literally in between bites, you're talking. That's
Yeah.
it.
And sometimes during the bite.
Unless you're teaching good social skills.
Manners, yeah. You know, we were at a restaurant with all our kids once, and somebody gave us $20 and said, "Your kids are so well behaved," and I just wanted to show my appreciation, and they paid for some of our meal, and we're like, no way. And that's because we practice. And when we're in the car on the way to the restaurant, we say, okay, so how do you behave?
Yeah, what do we do?
Do
What do
you-
we not do?
Do you mess around so that you spill? Do you shout? Do you run around? You sit in your seat and you're quiet and you're respectful, right? And that learning started at home as well, because how would they know how to act at a restaurant if they didn't know how to act at home? We're not saying we're good at this, okay?
No. We are good at having dinner together.
We used to be
Well,
until our son started lots of sports you started your after whatevers, and yeah, we've gotten busier as
but I'd still
everybody's
say
older.
it's at least 4 to 5 times a week. At least 4 to 5.
Okay, yes.
So
it
that's
is.
still way above normal, I think, for most people.
And my sister said that she was COVID was awful. Let's just say that. I'm not saying COVID was good, but I am saying good things did come out of
Yeah.
it, because my sister, they never had dinner together. And during COVID, suddenly there were no activities after school.
Yeah.
And they were able to eat dinner together. And she said what a wonderful situation it was for them, that they actually got to be closer as a family because they got to eat together, right? And this last one on the list, it was improve school performance. What?
Weird.
Yeah.
But to me...
Sometimes you can practice your math facts or flashcards.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, just because we
But
don't,
I think
doesn't
it
mean
does.
If that's your only time to do so, then do it.
Right, but I'm thinking that because of all of these other factors, all of these things can impact your academic life.
That's true. Yeah,
It's
if
like-
you're not eating healthy, your brain's not going to work right? If you are depressed and alone, you're not going to think school's worth it.
Right? Yeah, you
Right?
have to. It's the whole Maslow thing.
Yeah, and
Like if all these things are being met, then you're going to be in a good state of mind to do schooling,
yeah,
and you're going to get more out of it. So
yeah, and that sense of belonging starts at home, and if they don't have that at home, they're not going to find it sitting in a math class.
No.
But I mean, to be fair, not everybody's dad is a math teacher, and so they don't get math facts at dinner like
I don't
we
do
do.
math facts at dinner.
Yes, you do.
Sometimes they ask me. But I
You
don't.
volunteer. Okay, so I'm gonna embarrass Trent. When he talks in his sleep, he teaches me math. He's like in class teaching while he's asleep, right? And he's like, and then you take this exponent and you do that. And I'm like, stop. Wake up. And I nudge him.
It doesn't happen that often.
Not anymore, no.
It's like,
But
you're saying
used
it's
to
like
happen.
it happens weekly.
It used to happen quite a bit that he would wake up in the middle, or he wasn't awake. He would sleep talk and teach math.
At least 3 times a year. Is that a lot?
Okay. Anyway, so what I'm saying is his life revolves around math.
It does.
And so that's what we talk about at dinner sometimes, and coming up with math problems and
Yeah.
and saying math things. And so
Well, and when
yes,
because I'm talking about my day.
Right.
And so it's not like I'm being belligerent and saying, you got to practice your math facts. I'm just talking about my day.
Right.
And things happen.
And, oh, hey, this was the problem of the day or whatever sometimes
Yeah,
happens.
or it was
and
funny,
can you
yeah.
figure it out? And
Yeah. Just as an
Anyway.
aside.
So, just because you're not a math teacher doesn't mean you can't talk about math at the dinner table. But
Please
typically...
don't. That's just going to weird your family out.
Right. But talking about your day will help with their learning because, hey, guess what I learned at work today? It
Prompts a discussion.
introduces a culture of learning and growing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when your family culture is all about learning and growing and becoming, then school will become important to them and not just you, right?
Yes.
So anyway, this week's activity, have dinner with your family as many times as you possibly can. And it's not going to happen by accident. You've got to schedule it. If you have to have dinner an hour later because somebody has
Something.
then
I think the
have
Europeans have dinner like at 8 o'clock.
yeah, because they have
Crazy.
afternoon tea at 4.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So figure it out. If you need a granola bar at 4 o'clock because you're going to have dinner at 7, then do that, right? But have dinner together sometime, as many times as you can this week, and make it a priority and schedule it because it's just not going to happen naturally. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have a good rest of your week and let us know if we can help you with anything. Bye-bye.